Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Morning with me. My name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I am here in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estates in South Africa, coming to you live this morning. So happy you decided to join me. It is 4 o'clock. It is 3 o'clock here. I think it's probably 9 o'clock or earlier where you are. I appreciate all of you getting up early in the morning. If you're on with me, say hello. Hi, Brian. Hi, Teresa. Oh, I hope you're all well and living a life of spiritual power, stepping into what really matters. I have just such a wonderful topic today. I'm very, very excited about it. Hi, Misty. We'll see you in about 7 sleeps. Uh, I've just been so, my heart and my mind has been so on the life of Steve Jobs this week. So I decided we're just going to talk about him and some of the words that he said that were so inspiring. Hi, Les. Welcome. Welcome to South Africa with me. um, So I'm going to, so I'm just going to tell you right here what we have. I do have a sleeping warthog to my left. Let me see if I can show him to you. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can show him. Whoops. Don't get dizzy. Here we go. Can you see him? That is a sleeping warthog. A very lazy warthog. Sorry. I also have a little dwarf mongoose running around and a squirrel running around right now. It's my life. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. So anyway, so we're going to... I know, Teresa. Tell me about it. I know. It's pretty awesome. It is. It is. So, we come together. I just continue doing this because I love being with you. I continue doing this because, we all need reminding. In fact, let me show you what we're going to be doing today. Here we go, right here. So, I'm going to pray us in for a moment, but and I'll explain a little bit my connection to this man's life and why he inspires me. But do you see the arrow? So he was born January 24th, 1955, and he died October 65th. Yeah, that's right. October 5th, 2011. And we're paying attention to the dash. So his final words and his quotes that I've gathered for you are all about using that dash as best as we can and really paying attention to what matters while we can. So it's not, hopefully it's not morbid for all of you, but, as I shared in my blog this week that having myself been challenged recently, the past year, I don't know. I think I can relate in a way, and you'll see when I read something he wrote right before he died. I mean, literally minutes before he died, he had something transcribed, and I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel like every moment counts. Like I'm on God's time now. Like I'm on God's time, and there's no better time than now to begin paying attention. But that's true even when you're 30 or 40 or 20 or 50. It's always true, right? We don't know that sometimes because we get caught up in life and we just get caught up in, on the hamster wheel of living sometimes. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. So, but let me pray us in, right? So I'm going to pray us in. For those of you who are new to me, my prayers are not beseeching a God who's a person, like in the Wizard of Oz, the wizard behind the curtain. There's no wizard behind a curtain that we're praying to run the right program for us. We're simply aligning ourselves intentionally with forethought. So I want to bless our time together, knowing that if we are here together, we're here by divine appointment. If we're here together, there's something good for us here. Why on God's green earth would you get out of bed in the morning and come here if you weren't open and receptive and we weren't connected in some way? And so I bless our time, and I speak a special word of blessing upon the life of Steve Jobs as we remember him today, we talk about him today, uh, knowing that he was fully committed to his life making a difference, and that clearly, 11 years later, it is. And so may that be true for all of us as we put our ding on the universe. And so I give thanks for this time together. We let it be, and so it is. Amen. So, so welcome, everyone. If you're not already, if you're not receiving my weekly pictures of what I see here, I'm getting ready to go to Botswana next week, not this coming week, 2 weeks, which is a much wilder place in South Africa. So I'm very, very excited. And Misty Barong is on this with us, and she's actually coming, and also we'll be together on that trip. So I'm very, very excited to be with her and to go to Botswana again. I've been there before, but you can never go these places too many times. If you would like to donate to the ministry, you can do that also through my website. And there, I think I put a link in there for you. I'm Tanya, who I'm living with now. She has orphans. She has orphan mongoose, and we're in an enclosed estate. So the animals, during the winter, we feed them. So anyway, if you want to donate, throw some money this way, you can do that. I'd be happy for you to do that. And also we will, before I leave here, I'm going to send you a link to a Zoom session that we'll do 5 minutes following when we're done here. If you want to just come on to Zoom face to face and ask any questions or share your thoughts or just say hello for 15 minutes. So Steve Jobs. So here's my connection to Steve. I was born in California, and right after my first divorce, I was 28, and I went to work in San Jose, what then was called Silicon Valley, and it was a very, very exciting time. I was 27, actually, and Steve Jobs was 23. And he and Bill Gates were, of course, bringing forward the technology that we take so much for granted today. But the first Apple computer and the first DOS-based PC computer hit the world in those years, 1978, 79, 80, 81, in there. So, and it was one of the most wildly innovative times. I remember, I can't remember who said this. It might have even been Steve Jobs, but we all work so hard to keep our lives kind of under control, like predictable. We know what's coming next. We're kind of in our routine. And somebody said that if that was the way, that in that kind of environment, the Apple computer and the PC computer could have never been created because it was pure chaos, pure on the leading edge of something new, like new territory was being forged, and you can't come up with something new in a controlled environment. You can only come up with something new in chaos. And I just kind of love that. I don't know, looking back, I kind of think that that time has kind of dictated my whole adult life, because I'm still creating chaos, much to the chagrin of the people who worry about me the most. It's like, what are you doing now? I actually fell this week, and I'm not going to show you my bruises because they'll scare you, but I actually fell. My sister texted me and said, have you been bungee jumping, trying to prove to everyone that you can be the best bungee jumper ever at 70? And it's like, no, I simply just fell down. Anyway, so to make, why Steve Jobs, he died at 56 of pancreatic cancer, which is very young, of course. And he wrote a beautiful thing I'm going to share with you at the end when we're done. But I do want to share with you some of his quotes. So I picked out like 7 of my favorite quotes. And keep in mind, this is really not so much about him. It's really so much more about you and me. And how can we live our lives in such a way that we're not taking anything for granted? How can we live our lives in such a way that we're always on the leading edge of our own experience. How can we live our lives in such a way that we're not missing what matters? And we have some background noise here, but that's okay. I am in the African bush. So the first quote of his is, sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. And I love this one because like you, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been hit in the head with a brick and had to pick yourself up and keep on keeping on. No, he got fired. There was another quote I don't have, but he talked about when he got fired from Apple, which, by the way, getting fired from the company you created always confuses me, right? So I don't know how that's possible, but that is what happened. That Apple computer fired him, and he said he was forever grateful to that experience because it opened up a new level of chaos within him, a new level of creativity within him. So if you're in the middle of having been hit by a brick or whatever, don't lose faith. He says, your time is limited. Now remember, we're talking about this dash, and all of us have it. I'd like to, we don't really think about it too much when we're in the pinnacle of our health or when we're 20 or maybe even when we're 50 or 40, but we all have a dash. There's always a beginning date. In New Thought, we call it your appearance date and then your disappearance date, because in essence, you as a spirit, you as an energy cannot die any more than God can die. So, but we do appear here and we do leave here. Everyone does. Nobody's escaped that reality. As far as I know, somebody has argued with me in the past to say that there are some Indian gurus who are 900 years old, but I'm dubious at best. But I don't know. Who knows? I don't know everything. So he says, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. I love that definition, dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. So he's talking here about really what I teach and practice, what as a New Thought minister, what we teach and practice, what Ernest Holmes, the creator of the Science of Mind, taught, which is change. If you want to change your life, you have to change your thinking. Change your thinking, change your life. So Steve is really sharing here, don't be trapped with what other people have created, what's in the world already. That I would say that spirit in one is a majority, that you and God have a contract and you've been endowed with the ability to create all by yourself without other people's thinking. So don't be trapped by dogma. So the next one, he says, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Now, I can say this because I'm 70, and therefore I know something about the dots, about backward and forwards, which is that that's true, that there is something about, there was a wonderful practitioner at the Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles who said, her name was Lissa Sprinkles, and she used to say that you're always being prepared for something, you just don't know what it is. That every point in your life, you're being prepared for something. In my blog this week, I talked about how when you practice these principles, that somehow your past becomes totally relevant to your entire incarnation in a good way, in a blessing kind of way, no matter what it's been, that the past begins to make sense when you recognize that you're here, you're an on-purpose person, you have a right and a reason to be here, and that when you take responsibility for the wholeness of the experience, then something begins to make sense. The dots get connected into your future. I was talking to somebody this morning, we were talking about a song by Leonard Cohen where he said, it's all here for you. Everything's here for you. And in the most profound way, I think what he meant when he said those words, because he was a very profound person, is that don't think that you're a victim of circumstances. Don't think that the world is existing outside of you, that it's your world, it's your creation. And even if you can't get the fullness of the hologram that it might be for you, it certainly is your creation in your interpretation. So, so somehow trust in what's going on. He says you have to trust in something. As you move through life, you've got to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. And he says whatever that this approach has never let him down. Now, I happen to think that we all need a spiritual connection. I think to try to live on this earth in an ego-based environment without a spiritual connection is pretty dim. Dim. That's okay. Dim. Grim. I think I meant grim, but you know that there has to be a higher why, deeper purpose, some kind of connection to the past and future, some kind of connection to the non-visible, non-physical you, who will become non-visible and non-physical again. I think it was Carl Jung who said that every problem a person has over the age of 30 is a spiritual problem. So we do have to trust in something. So I would add to this, trust your gut, trust destiny, trust life, trust karma, trust in the quantum physical field, trust in Einstein's realization that God exists, that this universe is organized, it's chaotically perfect, and which I think when that happens, you then can pay attention to what matters. So my last quote from him is, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. Your heart and your intuition. Actually, I love this. Have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. And the becoming he's talking about here is the becoming who you came here to be. Like, what is your soul's agreement with itself for being here? And I promise you, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about accomplishment, it wasn't about achievement, it wasn't about collecting all the toys you can, it wasn't about playing it safe, it wasn't about being a good girl or a good man, it wasn't about any of those things. It has probably way more to do with love and happiness than anything else. More to do with shining your light, more to do with being gloriously wonderful. Oh, there's one more that's not on here. It says, he said, before I read his final words, he said, I want to make a ding in the universe. Ding. I want to make a ding in the universe. Now, not all of us will make big dings. You know, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be talking about me 12 years after I'm dead. I'm pretty sure that, you know, for most of us, we're not Mozarts or Beethovens, but you could live on as the best grandma anybody ever had, or the best friend anybody ever had, and for really generations to come, don't you think? Let me see who else I need to say hi to. Hi, Lonnie. Hi, Les. Oh, Les has been here. So let me share with you. I want to read to you what he said because, and it's just so beautiful and so poignant. And I kind of love that. So I think you can still see me if I pull this up. I'm pretty sure you can. So these were Steve's final words. This is what he said. He said, I have come to the pinnacle of success in business. In the eyes of others, my life has been a symbol of success. However, Apart from work, I have little joy. Finally, my wealth is simply a fact to which I am accustomed. Now, keep in mind, he died $56 billion. I mean, he had a lot of money. He says, at this time, lying on the hospital bed and remembering all my life, I realize that all the accolades and riches of which I was once so proud have become insignificant with my imminent death. In the dark, when I look at the green lights of the equipment for artificial respiration and feel the buzz of their mechanical sounds, I can feel the breath of my approaching death looming over me. Only now do I understand that once you accumulate enough money for the rest of your life, you have to pursue objectives that are not related to wealth. It should be something more important. For example, stories of love, art, dreams of my childhood. No, he says, stop pursuing wealth. It can only make a person into a twisted being just like me. God has made us one way. We can feel the love in the heart of each of us and not illusions built by fame or money like I made in my life. I cannot take them with me. I can only take with me the memories that were strengthened by love. This is the true wealth that will follow you and will accompany you. He will give strength and light to go ahead. Love can travel thousands of miles, and so life has no limits. Move to where you want to go. Strive to reach the goals you want to achieve. Everything is in your heart. Everything in your heart is in your heart and in your hands. What is the world's most expensive bed? The hospital bed. If you have money, you can hire someone to drive your car, but you cannot hire someone to take the illness that is killing you. Material things lost can be found, but one thing you can never find once you have lost it is your life. Whatever stage of life where we are right now, at the end we will have to face the day when the curtain falls. Please treasure your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends, treat everyone well, and stay friendly with your neighbors. Moments after speaking these words that he had asked to be written down, Steve Jobs, at age 56, passed away. Pretty deep, right? Yeah, pretty deep. So, kind of choked me up there a little bit. So in my blog this week, if you haven't read it, read it because it really is about happiness. Hi, Terry. Happy to see your beautiful face this morning. It's really just about cultivating within yourself to be happy right where you are, right in the middle of your circumstances, to, practice what I would call unconditional happiness. And by the way, chapter 15, The Untethered Soul, Michael A. Singer, the chapter on unconditional happiness, one of my you must read this chapters in your life. Forgive everyone. Part of the forgiveness practice, if I could do one thing, if God would give me the magic powers to, remember I Dream of Jeannie? I wish there was a way that I could, with every single person I meet, do this for them so that any place where there's unforgiveness or anger or resentment, it can disappear, because they prevent you from being free and full and happy and contented. Now, I think in closing, I don't really want to sound too much like I think, well, maybe I do think this. Let me see. It does go, there's a like race consciousness. There is a dogma in our life. There is a race thought that says life should not be just happiness, that there should be suffering, that we learn through lessons or we learn through suffering, I'm going to take it back. I just don't know that I think that that's true. I do know that we do suffer, and I do know that we do learn through our suffering, and I do know that we can use adversarial circumstances to grow. Hopefully, if you have any, and if you're alive, we probably do. Most of us do have things, I mean, you if you live an authentic life, you're not going to make everyone happy. You are going to irritate people if you do what you want to do and live how you want to live. You will make people mad. And you, in no way, should not do the things you want to do just so you don't make someone mad. That's totally true. But still, we're called upon, right, to love unconditionally, to bless people who don't want to play on the same team we're playing on. We don't want to make people wrong if they want to follow a path that's not like your path. But we also don't want to be angry or resentful. And not everyone's a nice person, so some people are going to do and say really stupid, mean things. But that's Terry Cole Whitaker's teaching, right? That what you think of me is none of my business, which is true. So you don't want to hate people for, I mean, listen, if I walk up to you and I say, you're really ugly and stupid and I don't like you, the only way that will bother you is if the only way that will bother you is if somewhere in you you think it may be true. Because if you think that you're beautiful and you think that you're brilliant, I could say that to you all day long and you would just laugh at me. Nothing in you would you would be unbotherable. So don't let the turkeys get you down, right? That's what my mother would have said. That was her advice. She wasn't a very spiritual person, but she would say, if I came up and said, Mom, Susie beat me up today. She told me I was really dumb. She goes, honey, don't let the turkeys get you down. So that's my advice to you today. Don't let the turkeys get you down. So I hope, I don't know. I hope you liked, I hope you were interested in what Steve Jobs said, and the lessons really, the wisdom he gave to us is really don't waste your time. And by the way, this is so fresh for me. This is probably why I have to talk about it, because I'm kind of working it out for myself. I think everyone on this call knows that I had a stroke in November. I had my hip replaced and I had a stroke, and I was in a hospital bed in ICU for about 5 days. And there was a 2 or 3 day period where I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to make it out of I was pretty sure, I didn't think I was going to die, but I was pretty sure I was never going to go home again. Like I wasn't going to be able to go back to life. And there is something that happens to you when you're in that position, like, wow, what's not done? What haven't I done? Have I said everything? It's like, how am I complete everywhere? Fortunately, I've lived a pretty life where I've been really focused on being complete with people and making sure that I tell people I love them and care about them. But you do realize how short it is, And I'm nothing, little emotion coming up. But I'm really nothing but grateful that that isn't what happened, because here I am. I mean, not only is it not what happened, I said, screw this. I'm done putting off everything, so I'm just here, right? So I can, maybe I'll come up with my own 7 quotes that somebody will read to somebody long after I'm gone. I don't know. So Ayman, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, so I think that's it. I am going to, let me give you my, oh, I don't know if I can give it to you. I'll just write it down. Ooh. Can you hear that growling? We have impala antelopes. It's rutting season, so they're fighting with each other out in the bush, making these horrible noises. All right, so my Zoom room is my phone number. So I'm just typing it in here. 479-283-9409. So you can just connect to Zoom. You can just connect to Zoom and then join a meeting using my phone number. There's no password or anything. And it's just to say hi, nothing profound. I mean, I love seeing your faces. It's a little more interactive than this is. This is kind of like me talking to you, and I just love to see your faces. So if you want to just come say hi, that would be great. I can show you a little bit more of the African bush. But for now, let me pray us out. So join with me as we turn within. I just invite you to close your eyes for a moment right where you are. And just breathe into the fact that you are alive. Breathe in the chi, the life force that animates your body temple, that feeds your cells with oxygen, that you live and move and have your being because you breathe. And so just allow yourself to just experience gratitude for being alive in this moment and for the wonder of life itself. Take a moment to let happiness creep up into your awareness. Even if hard things are going on, find something to be happy for, something to be grateful for. And I just simply speak a word of thanksgiving and gratitude for you, for the coming together this morning to talk for a minute about what really matters in life, which when it all boils down, it's really all about love, all about love. All about love of self, all about love of others, all about love of the animals, of the trees, all about the love of whatever this infinite wisdom and intelligence is that made us, that cradles us, that adores us. We give thanks for that. And so I bless your week as you move into it fully awake and conscious of what really matters in every moment as you continue to let go and to let go and let God. God shows up for us as our intuition and our heart. So pay attention to that and you cannot make a mistake. And so for the blessings of being together, I'm grateful. We let this time be, and so it is. Amen. All right, I'll see a couple of you in a few minutes. I'm going to log out, run to the restroom, come back and sign into Zoom. I guess everyone in the whole world didn't really need to know that fact, but too late now. It's here for the rest of the history. All right. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful week. If I don't see you before, I will see you next Saturday.